Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. So, can you please type yes in the comment section if you guys are able to hear me out? Okay, a couple of S's coming in. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Okay. So, let's give us a minute for others to join. We are already delayed by 5 minutes or so. So, we'll give another one more minute for people to join. If not, we will start the sessions. All right, let's get started. Now, before getting into the session, first of all, thank you very much for joining the session. And this is going to be a very basic session. In terms of our first 90 minutes, we will be talking about uh, what is quality and the introduction around Lean Six Sigma. So, before getting into this, let me set the expectations for this session. Now, as I said, this is going to be a basic 90 minutes a session where we will be talking about what is quality and a touch points on Lean Six Sigma. Now, post completion of this, you will be having a next session by tomorrow, again the same time, where we will be talking slightly in depth on what is DMAC approach. And the series continues, which means that today is the part one and tomorrow part two, and series continues about of part. It has about seven to eight parts in total. So you will be having all the DMAC approach with the tools and techniques. So this is the entire plan for the sessions. Now, to start with, let us start with a question. So what is your basic understanding of Lean Six Sigma? So when I say Lean Six Sigma, it primarily a methodology, but what is your basic understanding of a word called as quality? So let please type it in the comment. Let me see this. What is the word quality means? Request the participants to take a couple of minutes to type. Customer satisfaction is what coming up, and let me see what else is coming up. So when I say quality, what comes to your mind? People who are on YouTube can type their views as well. So defect free, a lot of things, right? So now when it comes to that, as a quality, as a concept, right? So most of the times what comes to us is is defect free, accuracy, without no errors, and all this is what primarily comes up in anybody's mind. Okay, so now when I say quality as a word, and it is subjective in nature. So a lot of people say quality is customer satisfaction. Let us break it down. Okay, so this is one of an example which I always used during my entire training programs all time. So now you and your friend goes to a restaurant and ordered a pizza, and you liked it. Somebody, your friend, did not like it. Why? It's very obvious, right? Because the expectation varies. My expectation of from the pizza delivery restaurant is different from my friend. I would be expecting a taste. Somebody would be expecting the size of the pizza. Somebody would be expecting something like, the crust of the pizza should be crispy. Somebody would be saying it should be less spicy and more with a lot of sweet in it. So the expectation differs from people to people. Now when it comes to that, if the expectation is varying, and what is the link between these expectations and the quality? Now as a customer, my expectations has to be met, right? If my expectations are not met, then I'm going to be dissatisfied. If my expectations are met, I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to be going back to that pizza shop time and again. So now, in principle, what is quality then? Quality is meeting customers expectation. And if a pizza owner has to meet customers expectation, and there would be thousands of customers coming to his shop every day with different expectations, and if he needs to sustain in the market, and then he needs to meet everybody's expectations, and we know for a fact that expectations vary from people to people, and that's where the major challenge comes into picture. Now let's take an example of Nokia. I don't know how many of your 90s 90s kids, 90s and 2000s, and probably those people who started using mobile phones in 2000, right? The Nokia was the famous phone across. And now if you go back and ask anybody which is which is a millennial generation, people don't even know the company existed, right? And why Nokia was so famous in 2000 and now it is not there? Because of only one reason: they were not able to meet customers expectation. Now when Nokia was on the peak, why they were on the peak? Because they were able to really understand what customer needs. The Nokia phones were so user friendly. People who are not even educated, people don't know ABCD of any phones, still people can use it. So the Nokia has made phones so user friendly, it hit the market so much. But at over a period of time, they were not able to sustain it. Why? Because the touch phones have come into picture. The moment the touch phones have come into picture, the Nokia came up with a very complex OS, which is Windows, right? And it made people to use not to use their phones because it becomes so complex, and people who are not educated, they were not able to use the phones much. So their profit has crashed, their revenue has crashed, they are not able to generate much sales, and at the end of the day they're gone, they're not anymore. So now in principle, the key message from Nokia's failure is that they were not able to meet customers expectation, and customers expectation can vary, right? Now now if I have to bring this down to a very simple formula, okay? Now if I have to give you a simple formula in terms of what is quality, this is how it is, right? So you gotta be really understanding what is the customer's expectation, first of all, right? What the customer is expecting from you. If you are a pizza vendor or running a restaurant, then you should be really knowing what are the customers expectations, and you need to deliver it, right? So if the delivery becomes your performance primarily, so how many times are you meeting your customers expectation? By how much you are meeting the customers expectations? If you're not meeting much, then your quality is going to drop. Now there is a big difference in the term of error free product, the defects, accuracy percent, or the subset of quality. It is not a quality in whole. So now when I say quality, meeting customers expectation is what in principle. Okay, now let me ask you a question. Now I know for a fact that a lot of people work from different companies, right? So now what is your customer expects from you? So you've been into process, multiple process, would have managed multiple process, you would have been. So if you're working for a bank, you would have, you know what customers expects. If you are working for an healthcare industry, you must be knowing what your customers looking for. You, if you are from a retail industry, you would be knowing what the customers are looking for. All right, I'll just take a pause here and ask you this question: what are your customers expectation? What they really want? So let's try to understand from you in terms of, just drop a comment in the chat box, and let's understand what your customers are expecting from you. Let me take a pause here. I'll give a minute. Think through what is customers are accuracy percent. Okay, accuracy is what people are expecting. Timely deliveries. Okay, fantastic. What else? Draft sent on time, which is again primarily on time delivery. What else the customers are expecting? Okay, in general, the answers are like, again, coming back to accuracy percent, on time delivery. All right, so let's again break it down into certain things. Okay, so now all these are what? Your accuracy percent, on time delivery, timely response, you know, all these are what primarily, or your customers expectations. So how are you meeting those customers expectation? And and is it so complex in nature to meet all these customers expectation? Is it really complex? That's the question I have put here, right? Yes, it is complex in nature, and I'll tell you the reason why. Okay, let's take a situation now. So I like iPhones primarily, but not for the fact of it is because iPhone. Probably it has multiple features. I feel uh, it's slightly, one, how to put it across. I feel it really friendly, because with one click of a button you will be able to store all your data in iCloud. So that's one plus I see it. Okay, because of that I've been started using iPhone since some time. Now let's assume that I'm a big fan of iPhone. Okay, so there is a new iPhone is launched, and I was eagerly waiting for that iPhone, and I just wanted to order that iPhone in the market online. So what I did is I just ordered that iPhone on online with a price of, let's assume that 80,000 rupees. I ordered it. Okay. So there are only two expectations I had. Now, if you look at this particular matrix, you'll be able to see there are multiple situations I have drawn. So A, B, C, D, these are, let's assume these are situations. Okay. And now OTD means on time delivery. Okay. Now ACC means, let's say it is accuracy. The right product you need to select, meaning you need to deliver. Now I have ordered an iPhone. Let's assume I have ordered an iPhone on 1st June. And they promised they will be able to deliver it in 3 days of time. Okay, which means 4th of June it needs to be delivered. So they delivered it as per the time, which is about 4th of June. And the first expectation, this is my first expectation, this is my second expectation. Now the first expectation they met. Okay, so that's why it says okay. Okay means met, let's keep it like that. Okay. And the moment when I delivered it, so I opened the phone and it is an Apple iPhone. I felt okay. So what was the emotion I would be going through? Um because I was eagerly waiting for the phone, and I ordered on 1st of June, and I got the phone at as they promised. So I was really happy. Okay. So let's draw a happy smiley. Yeah, it doesn't look like a smiley, probably some sarcastic. That's fine. Okay. Assume that it is a smiley in an orange color one. Okay. Now, the delivery boy, after delivering it, he has just given the feedback form to me to just rate it from 1 to 5, 1 being the least and 5 being the fantastic. Okay. So since I was happy and it was ordered and blah blah, I felt okay, I can give a rating of 4. If they would have delivered in on 3rd of June instead of 4th, I would have given them 5. So I have just given them a rating of 4. I really like the service. Okay. This is the first situation. Now the second situation, they have they agreed to deliver it on 4th June. Okay. The date was 4th June. The delivery was not there, and I was waiting for the phone. So phone did not come in. And 5th June, no message, nobody knocked the door. And 6th of June, nobody knocked it. So 2 days got extended, and fifth day, sorry, third day, third of meaning third day got extended. Now what happened to me? I started slightly becoming nervous. So I got the anxiety. Okay, I have delivered it, nobody picking the phone, and there was no message coming up, and there was a kind of an anxiety going inside me, because probably did I choose in the wrong vendor? Is he a fraud? Okay, all these kind of an emotions going up on 8th of June. Okay, on 8th of June, somebody knocked the door, and then I opened the door. This guy was from that particular vendor, and he gave the order and said, "Ma'am, here is your order which you have delivered." Sorry, it's not ma'am, it's sir. So I opened the phone, I opened the box, it was an Apple iPhone. I felt okay. So, but I started getting annoyed, and because nobody was picking the phone. So my emotion was slightly annoyed and fear. So let's put it a sad smile. Okay. This was my emotion. All right. Now, so on time delivery, did they meet? Yes or no? Type it in the comment section. No, right? On time delivery, they did not meet. Okay. And okay. So they have met the accuracy, because I was expecting an Apple iPhone. I got the Apple iPhone. All right. Let me put it across. Okay. Now this guy again giving me the rating form to me. Sir, can you fill me the rating, because it's very important. This is the quality scores which we need to maintain. So can you please put the rating of 1 to 5? What would be the rating? Okay, guys type it in the comment section. Let me see what is the rating you guys will be giving. Out of 1 to 5, what is your rating? 1 being the least and 5 being the, okay, somebody says 2. 2. Okay, somebody says 3. Okay, you guys will give 3 also, is it? Okay, if you guys are watching on YouTube, type what is the rating on it. Okay, so primarily what I will be doing is I would be definitely giving a rating of what? I would be definitely giving a rating of less than a 2. Yeah, definitely a less than a 2. Okay, now definitely less than a 2. Maybe somebody says 1. Yeah, of course, because you got into an anxiety, right? And you're in a sad emotion. Now let's put it like this now. Okay, you ordered the phone on 1st of June, right? Okay, sorry, you ordered a phone on 1st of June. Now somebody on 2nd of June, somebody called you and said, sir, you know what, you have ordered an iPhone and the delivery is on 4th, and you know what, we are running out of stock and we will not be able to deliver it on 4th, and we will be able to deliver it only on 8th. So you got an information from them. All right, now, and exactly on 8th June, somebody knocked the door, and when you open the door, and that guy was a delivery guy, and he was handing over the phone to you, and you looked at the phone, and it was an Apple iPhone, but they're supposed to deliver it on 4th, but they have delivered the phone on 8th, but there was a prior information given to you. Okay, now the expectations they did not meet, right? Because they're supposed to give it on 4th and they did not meet. uh the product supposed to be Apple iPhone, and it was an Apple iPhone. I'm fine with that. The only thing was, I was not getting into an anxiety mode after 4th, right? Because somebody called me and told me that, sir, you will be receiving a phone only on 8th June, on 2nd. So what happened? I was calm, and there was no emotion. So what would be my feeling there? My feeling would be like this. The smiley looks very bad, huh? The eye and all. Okay. Now I'd be neutral. Now again, he gives you a rating form and tell you to put the rating form. What do you, how do you feel? So what is the rating you will give? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? What is it? Let's see. Somebody says 3 now. Wow. Okay. Let me see what else is coming up. Again 3. Again, okay, 3. Wow. Let's draw that as well. Again, wow. Everybody is giving a 3. That's fine. Let's draw a 3. Okay. So now, since a small call, okay, a call from the vendor, now the rating has changed from 1, or probably 2. Let's keep it from 2 to 3. Okay, but the expectations, what you have, look at the data point. The expectation number 1 still is not met, but the rating has changed. There is no change in the expectations. The only good thing happened was somebody called you. Okay, so there is a change in the ratings. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep it aside now, for now. Now let's go to the third situation. Okay. Now the 1st of June, you have ordered the phone and you're supposed to get the phone on June 4th. Somebody called you on June 2nd and said, "Sir, you know what? You're so lucky. You will be getting a phone not on 4th June, you will be getting on 2nd of June," which means that morning, first, meaning 2nd June morning, this guy called you and told you that you will be getting a phone on the evening of 2nd June, which means that 2 days in prior. Okay. So you are so excited and you are looking out, wow, man, you are going to get I'm going to get that Apple iPhone today, because I was expecting it 3 days back, three meaning after 3 days, but still the vendor is really good and they said they will be able to deliver it. They will be able to over deliver. So you are very happy and you are waiting for the phone, and you even even you called your boss and said that, "Boss, you know what, I'm having a stomach ache and I will not be able to come to the office." But you know for a fact that you're going to that is because of you're waiting for an Apple iPhone. So now you have taken a leave and you are waiting for the phone, and this guy knocked the door, and this delivery boy, and you're already top of the world, and he handed over the box. You open the box and you are seeing that it is not an Apple iPhone. Instead of that, it is a Samsung. Okay. Now, what would be your emotion? How do you feel? Type it in the comment box. Let me see. What would be your emotion? You took a leave and you are waiting for that phone. Instead of an Apple iPhone, you got a Samsung. So, how do you feel? Very bad. Okay. Somebody's putting a sad mode. Very sad. Okay. Sad. I would be going through different emotions, right? So you will be angry. You will be like, man, I've just taken a leave, and a lot of emotions. But it's not neutral emotion, right? It's going to be completely and sad emotion, right? A negative emotion. So let's draw that negative emotion. So as usual, it's not going to be like, oh, sorry, a negative emotion. Probably let's put some dots that we are crying. All right. So now you're not okay, and now this guy gives you a rating form. This guy gives you a rating form and says that, "Madam, can you please rate our work, because this is very extremely important. We need to get a testimonial." What is the rating you will give? Zero, zero. Right. It'll be zero, which means that we will say, "Get lost, don't even ask for it. You're not even delivered the phone. First of all, please come back with the right phone to me." Right? That's the thing we'll be asking for. Wow. Now look at this, right? Now let's go to the fourth situation, right? Fourth situation, let's keep the same situation where somebody has called you and you had delivered the phone on 2nd of June. Okay, and you got the phone as per the call, right? uh this guy called you on 2nd of June and they said they will be able to deliver the phone on the 2nd of June evening. Okay. So which means that you got a call at morning, second 9 a.m., and they said that they will be able to deliver it on 5 p.m. Okay. So in between the time, you had a fight with your boss. Okay, your boss has given some work and you have messed up. So if somebody has a girlfriend, you can say there is a fight with your girlfriend as well. If or even some fight happened with somebody. Okay. So you're already completely upset. You're waiting for the phone, and this happened. at 12 p.m. of June 2nd. Now, time has come. It is 5 p.m. and somebody knocked the door. You have opened the door, and that delivery boy is giving a box to your hand, and you are opening the box. And as agreed, it was like the phone, and you are really angry already with a lot of emotions. What kind of an emotions you are in already? You are really angry, which is a negative emotion, right? So let's put a negative emotion, maybe anger. Let's put something like this. Okay, you're angry already with an emotion, right? So here, when you see, they're supposed to deliver it on 4th, but they have delivered on 2nd June. Okay, this is supposed to be a double tick mark, is it right? Isn't it? Double tick mark. And this is also Apple iPhone. So they have met the expectations. Now this guy, but you are already angry, and you are going, you the rating form is given to you now, right? This guy says again, sir, rating form. So now what kind of rating you will be giving now? What is the rating you will give now? Somebody says 3. Okay, what is the rating form you will give? What is the rating? Okay, so let's keep 3. All right, so let's keep 3. Beautiful. So 3 is what coming up now. Let's say, let's put, oh God, now 3. All right. Now let's quickly analyze this situation. Now, when you actually take a look at situation A and B, right? Look at the situation A and B. So A, on time delivery, perfect. They have delivered. And accuracy, they're supposed to deliver an Nokia, sorry, the iPhone, and they have delivered it. Now look at scenario D. They actually over delivered. They're supposed to deliver it on 4th, but they have delivered it on 2nd of June. And it is an Apple iPhone. Technically, technically, you should be giving a rating of 5, isn't it? You should be giving a rating of 5, right? Yes or no? You have to give a rating of 5, right? Because they've over delivered. Wow. But look at your entire rating system. This looks 4, this is 3. So now what is the problem here? Now you, when the rating changes, you, when the emotion changes, right? You're not in a situation to even validate this. Okay, now let us assume, okay, you are ordering the same iPhone twice. You are ordering the same iPhone twice. The first iPhone, okay, they have delivered blah blah, and second iPhone, they have over delivered. Now assume that this vendor has the data already with him. Okay, what kind of a rating you have given, right? If this guy shows you the data by saying, sir, you know what, we have delivered the phone on 4th June, you have given a rating on 4, now we have actually over delivered, still you are giving a 3. Now what would be your answer? If someone is challenging this rating with this particular data, what would be your answer? The first thing is, you will not be able to give any reason for rating of 3, right? You have to give a rating of 4 and above, and you have given 3, and it is a blunder from our side. Why? Because we are, because of our emotions, the rating you have given a slightly lower rating, which they don't, which they don't deserve. They're supposed to deserve rating of 4.5 and above, right? So now the key message here is why quality is complex, because the human emotions coming into picture now. When the human emotions are coming into picture, your rating scales, your customer satisfactions, everything is going for a toss. Not everybody will have the access to the data to challenge, right? So from that aspect, the quality becomes complex when you deal with the human emotions. That's the underlining message. Now if I have to put a quality score to this, right, quality score to this, okay, taking out all the emotions, taking out all the emotions, all right, let's erase this emotion part here, and let's put a rating here, quality score. Okay, so now let's take the emotion out and quality scores, right? What was our formula? Our formula was performance divided by expectation. What was my expectation? There are only two expectations: on time delivery and accuracy. Now here look at this, 2 divided by 2, which is almost 100%. Okay, here it is not okay and okay, which is 1 divided by 2, which is 50%. Now again, okay, not okay, again it is 50%. Here they have actually over delivered, but still we will call it as 2 divided by 2, which is 100%. Now look at the quality scores. Now for 100, 100, 100, right? For 100, you have given rating of 4, and again you have given a rating of 3 here, right? So there is a difference. Now look at this rating 50 and 50. Again, you have put a 0 here and you have put 2. But again, it depends on how much weightage you are giving for this 2. Even though if somebody is delivering, right? Over delivering, sorry, they meaning if they're supposed to deliver it on 4 days and but they have delivered it on 2 days, which is again over deliver, fantastic delivery there. Now but if they have delivered the wrong product, you cannot use it, right? So that's why your accuracy scores, accuracy percent always supersedes your on time delivery or timeliness. Got it? So this is the underlying theme there. So that's why even with the data point, this is showing 0 here, right? This is showing 0 here. So this too we are fine with, but this is not okay. So this is why it is complex in nature. When the data, now achieving quality is complex in nature, as we spoke about. Now to handle this, that is why the data driven approach is coming to picture. Okay, so now your lean six sigma, your other TQ, other quality tools and techniques, everything has come into picture to deal, why, to handle all this complexity, right? Now let us move forward in terms of Six Sigma. Now how this Six Sigma is linked with quality. Now if I have to ask you what is Six Sigma in one word or one line, if you have to tell, what you would be saying, what is your view on Six Sigma? Just write one line of your understanding. What is Six Sigma? What is Six Sigma? Six Sigma helps the organization improvement. Okay, somebody says improvement. Sorry, guys, I'm just reading the comment section. So somebody says improvement, data driven approach to handle quality. Okay, it's like almost close. Improvement, somebody says. Okay, if I have to say to somebody else, I will say this: Six Sigma is making money. If a company wants to make profit, okay, if somebody wants to make profit, then Six Sigma is the right method to apply. Okay, so for instance, if a company A is undergoing a tremendous cost reduction, okay, cost reduction, they can apply Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma, LSS. Okay, if somebody wants to increase, which is profit, okay, they can apply Lean Six Sigma. Either you can reduce your cost or increase your profits through Lean Six Sigma. That's about it. You can make money using Lean Six Sigma. That's all. That's the only thing we can say. Okay, let's not make it too complex in terms of using multiple jargons by saying, reducing variation, reducing, using standard deviation, statistical methods. All no. To keep it very simple, Six Sigma can be used to make money. That's it. Now, okay, understood, Gopi. But tell me what is Six Sigma. Six Sigma, using Six Sigma, I can make money out of it. Okay. Now, what is Six Sigma as a word? So six is a numerical letter. Yeah, this we all know. What is sigma? Sigma is a Greek word, which is this is called as standard deviation, which is a statistical standard deviation. Okay, which is a statistical measurement. Okay, understood. But what is standard deviation? Okay, standard deviation is a measurement of variation. Okay, okay. Gopi, come on. What are you talking now? Now you are getting to technicals. Okay. Now in first you said that it is standard deviation. Now you are saying something called as variation. All this, yeah, I am not able to understand. Okay. Let me break this down for you into a simple terms. Okay. So now when I say Six Sigma, you are able to see the screen, right? So Six Sigma as a or can be applied at multiple levels. Okay. So either you can adapt this entire concept or a method or an approach, whatever you wanted to call it as a philosophy. Okay. Now when I say management philosophy, what does it mean? Whatever I do, right, it will revolve around Six Sigma. Whatever I do, it will revolves around Six Sigma. Okay. Everybody speaks this language. Everybody understands this language in the company. If you go and talk to anybody, right, they will be able to understand this because it has imbibed in their DNA. Okay. So there will be a lot of training programs happening. There will be a lot of improvement programs happening, initiatives. Everything will revolve around Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma. Okay. So they will not take anything apart from any other strategy apart from this Six Sigma because they are a true believer in Six Sigma. Okay. Now this is one way of doing it. The second way is the methodology. So when I say methodology, what is Six Sigma? So when we talked about the quality and the emotions and the data points which we talking about, right? What is in underlying theme? Underlying theme is taking out the complete emotions out and look at only the data point. Now when you go back here, right, so the emotion part, when we removed this emotion part and looked at only the data structure and see, hey, wow, you know what, technically the situation A B remains the same, but because of emotion it has dropped. So but in reality we have done a great job, right? So the same thing, taking out the emotions and looking at a data driven approach rather than a gut feel by saying, hey, you know what, this will not work and I don't think so this guy is really doing a good job. No, that is not the language we will talk. Any Six Sigma company will talk only with data. It is facts driven. Okay. Now, when I say methodology, they approach anything with a with a data driven approach. Okay, data driven approach. They will only use data. They will not use anything apart from that. Okay, data, right? And they have a clear method of doing anything. Let's say they want to solve a problem. They will not just say that, okay, let's assume there is a customer escalation by saying that, you know what, there you have incorrectly sent this document to me. All right. And this is happening for a long time and a lot of customers coming back and telling you this. They you know what you will be doing, if you have a gut feel by saying, I think only these two people are making these errors, let us fire them. After removing them also, still the escalation will remain, keeps coming. So there is no methodology there, right? So so Six Sigma has a defined method. So it is a 5-step approach. So you will define a problem, you measure the how big the problem is, you will measure it, you will analyze how depth and what is causing the problem, and you will put some solution which is called as an improve, and the control. There is something called as a DMAC approach. This is a methodology. So they will follow this methodology in every problem solving stages. Okay, every problem, to solve any problem, they will use this kind of a method across. Okay. Now now when I say tools and concepts, it is like this. Now there are different types of tools available, statistical tools, right? uh, you can pick up those tools and start working on it. There are a lot of statistical tools available. Okay, which is SPC, which is statistical process control, and there are hypothesis testings, all this. So all these are not data driven, so all these are data driven approaches. So you can pick up all this and say, uh, they will use it. It can be adapted like this also, right? How? You can pick up different tools and techniques and put it together. Now what is a metric? Now when we talked about what is quality, we talked about something called as an accuracy and on time delivery. All these are measurements, right? All these are expectations. Now these expectations are converted into a metric. Now when I say metric, it is called as a measurement. Now you can adapt the Six Sigma as a metric as well. You start measuring your products, services, everything under your system. Yeah, under Six Sigma. Okay. So if you are going to say, hey, you know what is your Six Sigma level of this particular process? Somebody says, no, we are trending at 5 sigma, we are trending at 6 sigma, we are trending at 3.5 sigma, 4.5 sigma, something like that. Now the Six Sigma can be adapted at an any level. And one of the most beautiful thing is, this is a complete package. It is a complete package. The Six Sigma takes care of all this primarily. If you wanted to adapt it at certain levels, that is fine. If you wanted to adapt it as a philosophy, that's fine. But if you are going to take a Six Sigma, it has to be a holistic view. You need to have everything. Okay, everything as a package. That's how Six Sigma work. Now when you look at this methodology define, again you will use tools and techniques here. Okay, so when you in measure phase, what happens, you use all this metric. You will use it at define phase, you will use it as a measure phase as a Six Sigma metric. When I say metric, it's a measurement, right? Like your accuracy percent. Now today this particular process stands at 99%, sorry, 96%. Tomorrow you wanted to improve it from 96 to 99%. So you are using a data, you are using a metric for a measurement. From today you are standing at 96 and you wanted to improve at 99. So this is a measurement, right? So at every stage you will be using some or other. Okay, so now to make this methodology work, you need to go back to this level. Your entire company, or at least a leadership, has to understand what is Lean Six Sigma. People have to really have conviction in Lean Six Sigma. So this is an entire package. Okay, so now this might be slightly confusing in terms of where we what are the features, but the underlying theme here is that it is a data driven approach and you can use it at any level. Now let's assume that your leadership doesn't have much of a knowledge on Lean Six Sigma, but you are getting certified as a Lean Six Sigma green belt. Gopi, still I'll be able to complete my project. Of course you will be able to complete your project because it is a data driven approach. Nobody can question, nobody can punch holes on your project. You will be able to complete the project beautifully. Okay, Gopi, you know what, I don't have time for doing an entire project. Can I take only 2 or 3 tools and try to solve the problem? Of course, yes, you can do that. And since it is tools with using certain data, nobody can punch holes. That's the power of Six Sigma. Okay, so now having spoken about entire this, the concept of quality with connections with an emotion. Now how this is completely connected with your quality in every stage, right? In every stage, this removes the emotions out. This removes the emotions out and it looks only the data point, and you have a proper structure to solve a problem. This is the connection of Lean Six Sigma, right? Let me take up some Q and A's now. Um, so in principle, in general, this is what the link between quality and Lean Six Sigma. So now what we will do is that tomorrow, the same time, we will meet again. We will go through the approach of Six Sigma. So let's say we will understand what is quality with the different people and where it comes from. And so what I will do, I will share the first 4 or 5 slides to all of you so that you can take a quick glance. And what we will do is tomorrow we will talk about evolution of Six Sigma and when to use Six Sigma and what Six Sigma does and journey of Six Sigma and the Six Sigma approaches. This is what we will see tomorrow. Now open for questions. So we can take another 10 minutes for any questions. You can type your questions in your comment section. So let me give you 1 minute of time, 1 minute, 1 to 2 minutes of time to think about your questions and just type your questions. Guys, if you have no question, these videos available in your YouTube channel as well. I will be loading this in YouTube as well. The basic overview, will be loaded in YouTube, but the real certification courses, right, which people have paid for. Okay, I'll talk about that as well. Okay, so I've paused the video now. All right. Okay, let us go to this. Guys, are you able to see the screen now? Yes. Okay. All right. Guys, did you guys gone through the video? Was
Yeah,
it
Gopi.
was it okay? All right. So now let me quickly take you through the programs we have. We have, as I said, we have four programs primarily. One is the certified effective manager and certified effective team leader and corporate life coaching. Corporate life coaching is primarily about a one-to-one sessions which happens uh, with a defined package, where if somebody wants to have a coaching for a year, okay, one-to-one coaching for an year, so we will design the entire program for him, and it happens one-to-one on fortnightly. So 1 hour fortnightly it happens, and there are certain action plans given to them so that they will be able to complete that entire the 2 weeks of time, and it revolves for a year. And now effective team leader course is again a 3 months of course which has multiple packages, which we will discuss. But let us quickly discuss about Lean Six Sigma. uh, so now Lean Six Sigma, you will be able to, so you will have 3 days of focused, so 3 days of focused session happens, and 3 practice projects will be given, and you will have a daily assignment for 3 weeks, and there will be some Excel templates given to you for completing the project. And then you will have a forum for discussion in terms of what kind of challenges you guys are facing, so that we can discuss on that particular forum every week, and you will get a project completion certificate as well. So now if you look at, this is the entire course uh, modules where I will be taking you guys through, and you will be getting uh, a training material as well. Okay, so now this is what other people have told me. You can go back and check that out, and this is how your training certification would look like. You will be receiving 3 certification. One is on lean certification, and one will be Six Sigma green belt certification, and one would be a course completion certification. So you have to complete one capstone project, which means that you will be given a practice projects during the course. Post that, you will have to complete one project, a Lean Six Sigma proper project. When I say project, so one of the most abused tools, two tools, which is a Pareto chart and FMEA. So people will just use those two tools and say that they have completed the project. Absolutely no. There is a defined checklist which is given, which will be given. You have to do a check mark on each of the items, line items, and say all these have been completed. Then only you will get a proper complete capstone project completion certificate. Okay, so that's how it goes. And you have to take up a Six Sigma examination as well. There will be a link which will be given to you. You have to take up that uh, uh, exam, and it is an open book exam as well. Okay, so then there will be a weekly discussion happening. Okay, now there are two packages. One is 999 pack and one is 1499 pack. The primary difference is is in terms of certification. Here you will get only one certificate in terms of, you know, the Lean Six Sigma certification, but here you will get your course completed certificate and your project completion certificate as well. But the major difference is that here for both things you have to complete your exams. That is mandatory. The only thing is that post completion, you will, here it is trained, here it is certified. That is a primary difference. Okay, so now we'll be starting this session very soon. So it's supposed to start by June 5th of June, which did not happen. So we're starting this 3 days of training program from next week onwards, which is of 12th, from 12 9 p.m. so 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. And again 2 days of training program, and next week it'll get over. So 3 days of complete training program will happen. Now, what is the major frequently asked questions? When you look at frequently asked questions, so is there a mock exam? Lean Six Sigma exams are now happening and all. So yes, there will be a mock test will be given to you. Now, the only major doubt people will have is that, okay, I have already enrolled for effective team leader certification program, which is about 4999. Okay, so am I eligible for this Lean Six Sigma certificate? Yes, you are eligible for this. So people who have already enrolled for certified effective team leader program, which is a 3 month of program, yes, they are eligible for this, and they will be eligible for 4999 pack, which means that they will be getting this entire pack for free if they are enrolling for effective team leaders course, which is 4999. So this is the entire pack we have, guys. So stay tuned. So you will be getting much more updates going further. Any questions now? Let me pause the screens now. uh, let me stop the recording as well.